Starts on a $600 million new arena at Seattle Center. Max, I want to start with you on this one. Do you feel like Seattle's the most deserving city for an NBA team?
For me personally,
yes, me,
I think.
Yeah, Max. Yes. Yep.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry. No, actually, Seattle was a great NBA town, and they got the business from Clay Bennett. You know, like the NBA approves the sale to Clay Bennett. He buys the franchise for what is $350 million, and then immediately wants the people of Seattle to come up to fund with taxpayer money a new arena, and when they don't, he takes them to OKC. I mean, they really, really got the business. So it's not that I don't feel for the people of Seattle and think that a team shouldn't return there eventually, but Las Vegas hasn't had a shot yet. Vegas has not had a shot. How's it going with hockey? Pretty well, huh? You know, the Raiders are going to wind up in Vegas. So you got hockey. You're going to get football. Why not the NBA? You know, I'm not suggesting expanding and adding, but like a team like Sacramento, a franchise like Sacramento, how they've been doing. Put that in Vegas. All of a sudden, it's like one of the sexiest franchises in the league. I would say it's not that Seattle, Stephen A., doesn't deserve another franchise, but first up, give a town that hasn't had a shot yet a chance, and I would say that's Las Vegas.
Well, the reason why I don't disagree with you about Las Vegas, but let's not act like it doesn't come with its share of risk. Simply because of I understand the fantasy football, fantasy baseball, and basketball exists now, and that the sports leagues have, sort of embraced, the issues of gambling more so than they ever did in the past. We understand that it's a new time, it's a new day, and the legalization of sports betting is definitely going to proliferate throughout the state. So I'm certainly not averse to Las Vegas getting a team. But I would definitely say Seattle was a great sports town. I remember watching it from back in the day, Molly, the 78, 79, when the then Washington Bullets with Wes Unseld and Elvin Hayes and those boys went to back-to-back finals against the Seattle Supersonics. They split. I mean, one of the first guys I ever loved watching a game of basketball outside of Julius Erving, of course, was downtown Freddie Brown, Max Kellerman. He was the shooting guard coming off the bench. The starting guards was Gus Williams and Dennis Johnson. Jack Sigma was the player in the post. Marvin Webster was on the crew and all of this other stuff. I mean, I loved it, and the Seattle fan base was great. And this is before, obviously, Gary Payton and Sean Kemp came onto the scene doing their thing, and Kevin Durant had his rookie year there. They lost it because they couldn't come up with public funding. We understand that. But the bottom line is that I think they've learned the error of their ways to some degree. It's a phenomenal sports town. The only thing that exists in the Pacific Northwest as it pertains to basketball is the Portland Trailblazers in the entire Pacific Northwest. That's a huge fan base that exists out there that's been largely ignored. I think you rectify that, and here's how I think you do it, Max. I think you're the NBA. You don't have to extend. You don't have to add teams. Two things should happen. The Memphis Grizzlies should have their team taken away from, they should move rather, because they're just not doing well business-wise. From what I'm being told, I could be wrong, but what I've been told is that they could be doing better. That is not the case, and obviously a move should be entertained when it comes to Memphis moving on. And another team that I think should move is the Los Angeles Clippers. Look, I understand they got their few fans out there, Marcellus Wiley being one of them, my brother. Love him dearly, your brother as well. But damn it, you talk about the fair-weathered stepchild. That is exactly what the Clippers are in Los Angeles. They are nothing compared to the Los Angeles Lakers. Let the Lakers be in L.A. Mr. Ballmer, who I love, great owner, by the way, came from Seattle. Take that team to Seattle. Let Memphis take their crew to Vegas. That was his plan. Or like the Clippers, put them in Vegas and send Memphis to Seattle. Those are the two teams that should move on. And Seattle and Vegas should get a team.
Yeah, Max, I wanted to ask you this, because there was a period of my life when I spent a lot of time in Vegas covering the UFC, and I know you do, obviously, covering fights. And this is all seriousness. Obviously, it didn't seem like it was an issue for the UFC fighters. They're not making the kind of money NBA players are. But do you guys really think it's a good idea to have an NBA team with all the money that they're making, these young kids, all the distractions and the gambling risks in Vegas?
I'll tell you why it doesn't matter now. because the Supreme Court handed down a decision that allows sports gambling. So many states, there will be gambling.
I agree.
Is there more temptation and more distraction in Vegas than other places? Sure, it's also a warm weather city on top of that. But there's more distraction and temptation in New York than in Utah. That doesn't mean you don't have a team in New York. I mean, this is the way not everything is exactly even. I want to mention quickly, Stephen A., that we're all sports fans, right? So when a team asks the public to fund a stadium or an arena, that helps sports fans because we enjoy the product, but everyone has to carry the freight, not just sports fans. We benefit from that. But just consider what happened to Seattle. The NBA allowed a franchise to be sold to a guy who then turned around and wanted practically the same amount of money that he just spent to buy the franchise from the public to fund the stadium. It goes to show that those who have their hands on the levers of power, boy, it's a sweet deal. If they don't give you basically what you paid for the franchise, all right, see you later, and Seattle's left holding the bag.
All right, we'll see. I don't know about that NBA team in Vegas, but I'll trust you guys on that one. Coming up next, fellas, on First Take, would you take Jimmy Garoppolo over Dak Prescott at quarterback? We'll see which one of our debaters just might go against that one. Will Kane will rejoin the desk as well. Plus, Derek Carr and John Gruden appear to be a match made in heaven, but one of the guys says the pressure is on Carr for real this year. Don't touch that dial.
I think it was a great idea.
You should stop. Our old TV provider decided to stop providing our school's games.
So I bought this bad boy. Road trips every Saturday.
And tetanus shots every Monday.
But